Hey, Susan, we could have used more time.
Oh,
Only one person got to share.
okay. Let me do that again then. Hang on.
Okay, is that possible?
I can try.
Okay, thanks.
Trying to stop it from stopping, and I
Oh
can't.
no, because I wasn't sure how long we got. None of us did, or maybe we missed it. Sorry.
Apparently, it's not letting me change that you're coming back, but I will send
But
you back in there as soon as I
oh,
can.
okay, if we create a room or
Yeah,
for the
I'm trying.
three of
It's
us.
just it's got that one in progress, and it won't make me plan. It won't let me plan the next one while it's doing that. So,
Oh, it dropped me out, so I didn't even have a chance. So, oh,
did you
here
guys
comes
finish in
everyone.
there, Elaine? Uh, so I'm believing that you need more time. How did it go? Yes, you're fine, or yes, need more time? Someone's going to have to come off mute.
It seemed
I
good
need
to
more
me.
time.
We
You said
didn't get to the
9
questions in the chat.
You did get to them. Okay, well, let's
We
do this.
didn't. No, we didn't. We
You
didn't get
didn't.
to those questions.
I
No.
didn't even know there were questions in the chat.
Okay. All right. Well, there's
but
questions in the
also,
chat.
but also you said it was going to be 9 minutes. So I was
It
planning on
was
like 3 minutes.
each.
That wasn't 9 minutes. It couldn't have been 9 minutes.
Okay.
That wasn't even 5 minutes.
So
That
tell
was
you
five
what,
minutes.
I'll just hit go. It says options. It says, okay, I'll give you another. It did say
I'm
six.
just gonna
Pardon
say
me.
maybe like if you figure 5 minutes for each
Yeah,
person,
that's okay. So
as if
it
we're
said
introducing ourselves
I
and
thought it was
everything.
nine, but it was
Oh,
six. So I'll
okay.
give you another six right now, and I'll just open
Okay.
all rooms again.
Thank you.
There you go. Sorry, guys. Better? Hopefully you had enough time now. Okay, good. Sorry about that.
Oops. It's amazing that you're doing this as, you without having somebody doing the techie bits. I'm very impressed, Suzanne.
Well,
Really.
I've made so many mistakes already, Elaine, but I'm glad to be able to
Yeah,
impress
but
you.
you're just moving through it so gracefully.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I am sitting here wondering when I'm going to learn how to do breakout rooms better, but it's a thing.
I'm just impressed you can do them.
Yeah, we all have our limits of what we can do and what we're going to learn next. Right, welcome back, everybody. Was there anything does anyone feel called to share something they said, something someone else said, a delight, a surprise, something that you want to bring forward, or are you good? I'd love to hear from at least two of you. Cyrene.
So I help perimenopausal and menopausal women prepare for and manage their symptoms in a natural way without hormone replacement therapy. And so I want to bring fun and laughter and so much joy and creativity in it. So what I did last year was sell some clothes. And now I'm realizing we can, like, I do things virtually, but I can do things in person and combine the two. Why can't I help like menopausal women feel good about themselves by trying on clothes and having fun and just chill and just laugh because life is too short and why take our symptoms seriously?
Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah, the clothes thing. You and I have talked about clothes before. That's a huge thing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love it. Good. Okay, well, I need someone to laugh with when I go to the next change room. I'm just telling you right now.
Okay, let's go.
Anyone else want to share anything someone said or an aha? Sue.
I had an amazing aha. That that I'm going to be in the same place. But I'm going to meet somebody who has complementary or similar values, and they're younger than me by a considerable margin. And we're going to travel because we are both here to use our essence to bring about change in the world. And we have time to be together and apart. And we accept each other at our core. And we teach a new paradigm of living.
All of that. What have you hit in there? You've hit time, you've hit love and relationships, you've hit your impact, your vocation or creativity. In there somewhere is health as well, because if you're traveling,
Yeah, I did put it in my original thing. I said that my health, touch wood, is good for my age, and therefore I want somebody younger, having spent the last 20 years supporting somebody who was older, who deteriorated in different ways.
mhm.
And I know anybody can deteriorate at any age, but I've done that, I've ticked that box. And as I'm saying this, I'm hearing my mother's voice. She said, if you marry Clive, when you get older, you will realize there's more of an age gap than is apparent because you're young for his age and he isn't. And here I am saying what I'm saying now. It's like, bloody hell.
Well, and my first marriage was to a man 15 years older than me. So been there, done that. But there is a beautiful vision for you there to be with someone young and vital, but keep developing that vision for yourself because in there is also the possibility for Sue to not only have this good health for her age, but what if she has health that continues to improve beyond her wildest expectations? Do you know, why can't your flexibility not get better instead of worse? Why can't your breathing and heart strength not get better? And of course it can. Of course it can. And so leaving room for that, we often leave room for expectations that are silently at the back of our mind that we're going to, I don't want to say disintegrate, but I think you used that word already, disintegrate. And in reality, I've got an 87-year-old dad who still walks a couple kilometers a day, who goes to the gym. I'm like, dude, he's dapper. Like, and so I see, no, I'm not setting you up because I love my stepmom. But I see the possibilities, and there are possibilities there. So
And on the
yeah.
fiscal side, I put that I can't remember what I said, but something like that there's money to, I think there I said that there's emotional and spiritual and fiscal abundance, and we come from a place of service, not consumerism, something
Okay.
like that. So I did
So
answer all.
whatever that means to you, that sounds to me like you're not going to be buying things very often, which is fine.
Well, actually, that's very interesting because
I'm just making sure universe understands you. So I'm telling
no,
you what
no,
I hear.
no. I actually that's very interesting you pointed that out because even though my means aren't great, I do treat myself
Good.
quite a lot. Like probably every week I treat myself.
Yeah.
So, but I do it in a way that I can either spread the cost or I buy something in the sale or I buy something in a thrift store but I always treat myself.
Okay.
So that isn't what I'm trying, and the universe knows that. So
As
that
long as
the
you're
message
painting
I'm
a clear,
giving,
as long as you're painting a clear
edit that
picture.
bit. You know what I do all the time. Please don't reverse it.
Exactly.
Edit, edit, edit.
And potentially you could be treating yourself a couple times a week. You could be
Yeah,
treating
yeah, yeah.
yourself with, and so allow that the growth in that area. And I mean, I'm saying that to all of us because we continue to live life in a way that we've lived a lot and we don't see that perhaps, not saying that this is true for Sue because she knows what she means, but that perhaps we're holding ourselves to an expectation and manifestation occurs according to our expectations. What do we expect to be true for us? So, however you want to word that, Sue, when it comes to money, I'm really clear with the universe. I expect that every time I spend money, it comes back to me multiplied. I expect that I love, buying the things that make me feel luxurious and beautiful. And you, of course, have your own vision. These are mine. But make sure that the message that you're giving out is super clear. And while we're talking, thank you for sharing, Sue and Sareen, because while we're talking about these things, what can also come up is, of course, that thought, well, this hasn't happened yet. We can start to have doubts. We can start to think, I haven't done this yet. What makes this any different? For
I
real.
think the hardest thing for me is like on the scores, I put 5 out of 6 for 3 of them, but I put 1 and 3 out of 6 for the other 2. And that's around money and relationships, but that's because I was widowed in January, so I wouldn't expect my relationship score to be high.
Right. Sorry about that. Yeah.
So, I can't put 6 there. That just wouldn't be right. I do have other relationships around the world.
Yes.
But fiscally, I have never got it right. I've had a lot and spent it. I've had nothing and I've got enough to cover the basics, but that isn't how I want to live. So
I like that.
my money thing has never been right, and I don't know how to autocorrect, which is probably why I didn't say that very clearly.
So can I ask, is there anyone else whose money they would love improvement in the money area? Hands up. Anyone? Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the language of money right now, because now we're writing our vision. And there are ways to approach money from who we're being. So, and Sue, if I can talk with you a little bit about it. When you saw yourself in your vision 3 years from now, and it's all worked out, were you in an area where money felt tight?
In the future,
Yes.
it's more expansive than it is now, but I just don't, I have a real block in sensing into that. You know, when somebody says to me in a coaching session, well, what do you want to earn? What do you want to charge? You know, I seriously, I can't find it in my mind, body, or spirit. It's like a black hole. I never get anything back. And I'm
Okay.
really, really good at listening to my mind, heart, and body. And yet when it comes to money, I never have clarity.
But you're listening beautifully to your mind and you're getting exactly what you want. You
How
are
do you make it?
getting you're getting exactly what you're giving out to the universe right now, which is a wholehearted belief that what you're getting with money right now, it not working out, is what's your future is. And I say that because as you're reaching into your vision, you've just said you still feel a block. You feel like there's an anchor holding you that you can't believe for more. And our beliefs, which we're going to talk a ton about tomorrow, but our beliefs are truly what create that energetic presence that Elaine is about to talk about that we manifest from. And if we're sitting and believing that money isn't, I don't want to say the word isn't possible, but what we're looking for with money isn't possible, that can be difficult. So my first question for you, and Sue, I'll let you kind of write it down instead of chat, because I know I do need to move to Elaine, but I want you to just write down, you said it was more expansive. I love that. Can you write down any other feelings later about how you would love to feel when it comes with money? Let's leave out totals. Let's leave out income. Let's leave out sales you'll make. Let's leave it out. How would you love to feel when it
I
comes
want to be able to
to,
feel that what I really want, and this is where and I mean this, I have always wanted to be philanthropic. I've always wanted to be a philanthropist and have means so that I can have my needs met and I can give to those that are marginalized who need the help that I've been fortunate enough to get.
so write that down. Write it
I don't
down.
know what it
I
said.
would love, and we'll build from there. Trust me, we have 3 days on purpose. We will build from there. I would love to have more than enough money so my needs are met and I'm able to bless others. Let's write that down. And let's write it down without hesitation. So that this goes to everyone: Jackie, Magdalena, Linda, Angelica, Elaine, Tanya. You've got it. If there's something you hesitate to write down because you don't believe it's true for you, you have just put a nail basically in your manifestation coffin. Okay, so let's at least start by writing it down. Let's take that big deep breath and be brave and write down what we would like. And yes, there is crap that holds us back. There are beliefs. We're getting to that. Okay, but let's at least write down what we would love. Okay. And yes, I'm telling you what to do in that teacher way that I have, but there's no other way to do it. Now we're going to come back after and we're going to calibrate our vision a little bit, which means we're just going to tune it so we know it works for us. Okay, we're not going to change it. But before we do that, I just want to honor timing because I promised Elaine that she would speak at the top of the hour. Is there any last, like, do you have something that you really want that you can't write down that you want to talk to me about? Tell me now. And I don't just mean Sue, Jackie, Tanya, Linda. Okay. That having things in our vision, the elephant in the room is the fear. It's the lack of belief. It hasn't happened before. So why is it going to happen now? Those are all real. We will get to that, but we need to allow space to know for what we would want. Because if I never tell universe what I want, it's not going to happen. Clear and simple. Okay. Okay. So we have, and I'm just recapping because I have Val entering. What we have done so far is we have looked at our vision. We've talked briefly about values, passion, and purpose. And we recognize that those are going to lace themselves through our vision, gently or strongly, depending on what it is. Okay. And then we shared with people some surprises, and we just discussed we possibly have beliefs that these things can't happen for us. We're going to get to those beliefs. So, because we are talking about manifestation, I think it's important to say that we are energetic beings, right? We are spirits with a human body, a mind, subconscious and conscious. We are here having an experience on this planet. We are energetic beings, and this energy is what calls to us what we would love. The problem is we're always calling to us what we would love. Sadly, it isn't always love that we feel about it. So if our energy is off or negative or misaligned, we are going to get more off, negative, and misaligned. And so I've asked Elaine to chat with us about energy, and she's amazing because, well, she'll chat about energy, but then she's so willing to do hot seats with you. So, for instance, Sue, and what you're talking about with money and beliefs and energy there, you may end up having a question with Elaine that she can completely help you in that direction. So I don't want to speak for her because that's not nice. But I do want you to know that I always love to call in the most wonderful people. So we need a bridge from what we would love, from our who we are to what we would love. And Elaine is really, she's going to give us a hand. Because a vision isn't just a picture. A vision is not just something you wrote in a book to put away. It's a frequency. And it is a message from Spirit that this is for you. So when Sue says, I've always wanted to be a philanthropist, but I haven't seen a way, we're going to talk about alignment. We're going to talk about being in alignment with that, because that is meant for Sue. Because she has that vision. Whatever you see is meant for you. And when our inner state doesn't match the frequency, there's a gap, right, between what we want and what we experience. And this is where alignment really, really, really matters. So this is where we move from vision to vibration. And to guide us with that is Elaine. And I promised you her bio. So if you weren't in a room with Elaine, you need to know, first of all, she's amazing. Elaine describes herself as a transformation midwife. So if you're going through transformation, you're going to need her. A citizen of the world, she supports people in becoming coherent, regulated, and energetically sovereign. I love that. Because when your field is strong, your health stabilizes, your creativity opens, and abundance becomes sustainable. And that is what we're looking for in our vision, an abundance of what we would love. So from Scotland to Hawaii and now France, Elaine has lived the changes she helps others embrace. And if you're ready to step into your magnificence, literally, Elaine's here to accompany you on that journey. So please let me welcome my good friend, Elaine McGugan. Off you go, Miss Elaine. I will spotlight you and get rid of mine.
Thank you, Suzanne. And so nice to be here with you all, these amazing women. And as far as I understand, Suzanne, I've got an hour or
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'll maybe talk for about 15 minutes or so and just share some things around awareness. And then, as Suzanne said, I'm going to open it up to hot seating if someone has a question or something that you want to unpack. We can do that. So we've been talking a lot about visioning and what we want to do, what we want to create, what we want to leave behind maybe, and also how we move into the next chapter of our lives. And these are big questions that I guess we're going to be with over these next 3 days. But sometimes what can happen is, I'm sure we all know that place where we have a sense of what feels right. And then the mind starts to click in and it starts negotiating. Maybe the timing's not right, or maybe it's not practical, or maybe I'm overthinking this. And suddenly the clarity that we felt turns into confusion. Not because the truth has disappeared, but because the awareness has slipped into the background. And often we're told that creating the life we want is about clarity and action. And we get clear, we take steps, and we push through discomfort and stay focused. And while these things are absolutely essential, I've come to realize that there's something even more fundamental that shapes the quality of what we create, and that's awareness. So today I'm going to talk about awareness, the space where choice begins. Because when awareness is present, something remarkable happens. A space opens between what we experience and how we respond. And in that space, choice becomes possible. So today I don't really want to explore awareness as some kind of abstract spiritual idea, but as a very practical embodied capacity that influences how we create our lives. So what actually is awareness? In my view, awareness is our capacity for experiencing life, its presence. It's the ability to perceive beyond the physical senses. It's an inner knowing that there's more to life than what we can see, hear, or touch. It's the part of you that knows, from a very deep knowing of who you are and what you are capable of, even when your mind or your ego is unsure or tells you the opposite. So when awareness is present, you're not just living on the surface of life, you're in relationship with life. And it's also in the intentional process that we are going through right now to create the lives that we want. It often looks like first you get clear about what you want to create, then you take the next aligned action. And sometimes that unfolds beautifully and it's almost like magic. It just unfolds. But very often there's something else that shows up along the way, and that's discomfort. And here is where awareness is really essential. Discomfort isn't a problem necessarily. What creates stress and anxiety or overwhelm is usually a reaction to the discomfort. And without awareness, discomfort feels like a sign that we're doing something wrong, we're on the wrong path. But actually, with awareness, discomfort becomes information that is so valuable. And sometimes the most aligned path is the uncomfortable one. Because it asks us to grow, it asks us to let go or to move beyond a familiar version of ourselves. And also confusion can come into the picture too. And that can sometimes be a really subtle defense against really going for what we want to create. And it keeps our minds spinning so that we don't have to feel, we don't have to acknowledge what's going on, and we don't really hold on to what we know from the deepest parts of ourselves. Awareness can cut through all that. It brings us back to what's actually true. So awareness creates the space where conscious choice becomes possible. Awareness asks us to look beneath our desires. For example, let's say you want to find a life partner, and awareness asks, why do you want this? Where does the desire come from? Is it coming from a wounded place, a need to be supported or rescued, or to fill a void? Or is it a genuine longing to meet, learn, and love in an adult equal relationship? Or if you want a new career, where is that desire coming from? Is it a need to be seen or to be affirmed, to have someone else affirm who you are, to fulfill an ambition or to fulfill your true purpose, perhaps the calling to be of service? The desire itself isn't wrong in either case. There is no right or wrong or judgment about it. It's just the clarity of knowing what's true for you. And the source of the desire changes what you create. When you pay attention to your needs, your wants, your desires with honesty and compassion, things become much clearer and confusion and doubt can just fall away. You stop asking the outside world to complete you and you start meeting life from wholeness. And that's awareness at work. Brings us back to a state of wholeness. And one thing I've noticed about awareness that often becomes clearer when we look at life through simple structures. And one of these the most powerful structures that I know of is the triad, a pattern of 3 forces that interact and create movement. Triads appear everywhere in our life. In the collective field, we have mother, father, child, past, present, future, thinking, feeling, doing. Even that well-known drama triangle, victim, persecutor, and savior. So much of this archetypal energy in our lives is in this triad form. And these patterns shape how we experience life. When the 3 elements are in conflict, we can feel stuck. But when they come into harmony, something opens up and awareness expands. So today I wanted to offer one of the triads called insight, responsibility, and freedom. For me, it's one that really supports conscious creation. For me, it's a triad that offers a kind of antidote to the drama triangle of persecutor, savior, victim. So insight is a knowing and awareness that comes from questioning. It's our ability to step back and create space for the unknown. And when we do that, we can see the bigger picture. Insight is a doorway into the intellect in its biggest form, its widest sense, and even into what we might call the divine or the mind in its biggest sense or source. And insight expands our awareness. The second part of the triad, responsibility, is a quiet knowing that as a matter of course, we are responsible for our life experience. We are responsible for our reactions to life, what we create in life. Whatever shows up reflects something you can explore. And responsibility is also deeply relational. It shapes how we meet life and how we relate to others. And freedom, the third part of the triad, is how that sense of responsibility turns into movement, the freedom to move. And the more we bring our true self into the world, the more freedom we experience, whether it's on a level of our ability to travel or move out into the world or have beautiful relationships or create enough money to give us freedom. We really need that movement forwards into how we walk in the universe as our bigger self, not constrained by our old identities, but guided by awareness. There's another triad too that I find a really practical one, which is asking, experiencing, and witnessing. This is fabulous if you're working with clients, working with yourself. It really doesn't matter. It's a very practical tool that you can use anytime to cultivate awareness and clarity. So asking is, what's here now? What's here for me now? It's curiosity without limits. And we tune into our higher self, or even source itself, knowing that the answers will come, often in surprising ways. So it's a very delicate inquiry inside. What's here now? What's present for me? And you can get really specific with the questions. Each question expands your awareness. The second part of the triad is experiencing. What am I experiencing in my body? How does that answer or that question land in my body? How does that interaction with the other land in my body? So awareness isn't just mental, it's something that's very embodied. Each experience creates a template within the body of who you are and how powerful you are. And your experiences don't just change you, they also affect the bigger field, the bigger collective field. So whenever we can really feel into what's happening for ourselves in our bodies, we're affecting the other, we're affecting the collective field around us, opening up space. And witnessing is observing without judgment, stepping into that bigger role of the witness where you can see clearly, without any labeling, without any fixing, just seeing and noticing what's here, what's present for me. So these three, when they work in harmony together, allow awareness to just deepen naturally, and clarity arises without any force, without any pushing, just a natural flow. So as we move through our year, this year of 2026, awareness, in addition to alignment and vision, is what will guide us. There isn't any effort or willpower. It's more that connection with the self, that deep knowing of the self, and the clarity that comes with that. So awareness informs us when to act, when to pause, when to move through discomfort, and when to let something fall away, when to readjust your vision. Because our vision will keep changing, as Suzanne has mentioned earlier. Things evolve, things develop in ways that are surprising to us, the more openness and clarity and awareness that we have. So we really don't have to become someone new. We just need to become aware of who we are. And from that place, our intention becomes something very, very natural. Our actions become aligned. And the life that we can create for ourselves feels true and possible. Because when awareness is present, life stops happening to you and begins unfolding through you. So I hope my thoughts on awareness were helpful. I'd really love to open it up now to questions or pieces that you're curious to explore. Linda, hi.
First, a question. In the last triad, asking, experiencing, and what was the last?
Witnessing. Being that neutral observer, that bigger self observing.
Yes. Yes. I don't know how to bring my, just say. So, oh my God, I loved everything you said. I don't think I've ever listened so intently. It just rang true. And my mind was going so much that that's why I lost that last word. So for the first time that I can ever remember this happening, instead of going into a vision of what I see next, when Suzanne told me to do 2029, I went there and totally saw this vision in the future that is not anything I've pictured before. So that's so I've got the insight, I've got the responsibility. I see that that brings me my freedom. That's what this vision was. The asking, the experiencing, and the witnessing. I don't know. I wonder if you could give me some help in how do I bridge from where I am? I've always been so present and just moving to my next near vision. This is like a light year away, this picture.
Okay.
Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'm wondering if the vision is way out there, and what if the vision was in here?
I think the vision was way out there.
Mm. And is there some way that you might like to bring it more in here?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So does it feel too much for you? Is there overwhelm or a too muchness about it?
Mm-mm. It feels like everything I ever have dreamed and wished for that I didn't know I did.
Okay.
I mean,
Sounds
I've been, I've been imagining that my life is going to be totally different. Suzanne and the other women that know me in here, they've heard me say this a million times. I feel like in the last few years, I've been working on becoming who I need to be in order to accomplish this, this, this picture, this vision, this calling, this life purpose work that I want to do. What I saw was an end result of what would happen within 3 years, where I would be surrounded by completely different people in places, totally supported. But I have like it's like what I've been asking for. Where am I going? How do I get out of here and be in some other place? And that's what it showed me was this other place, but I have no idea how that I don't know how to I don't know how I don't know how to ask or experience or witness so I can make it become more inside of here instead of just in this like dream of my in my head.
okay. So that question you said, what is my next step? That's
Mhm.
really feels like a really good question to start with. And then as the awareness comes of what that next step might be, then you can see how it lands in your body. But I'm kind of wondering in this moment whether actually allowing your vision to land in your body might be really helpful.
Yes. How could I do that?
Well, let's just take just a minute, couple of minutes, if you want to just sit there and breathe and close your eyes and kind of connect with that vision, even though it's way out there, and invite it in. Simply invite it in. And just see it coming in or feel it coming in from all directions. this vision of the future, allowing it to come into your central channel. And perhaps ask the question, is this vision coming from my deeper self, from my I am presence, from my soul? And keep inviting it in. And just notice, is there somewhere in your body it's getting a little bit stuck? Is there somewhere in your body that vision is not flowing directly through into your cells? And notice how far in to your body you can receive your vision. Does it go all the way through, down to your toes, down into the earth? Can you feel it on your skin? Does it make your heart sing? And is it feeling a little bit more established in your body now, rather than out there?
Thank you, Elaine.
How is your body feeling?
Tingly,
Hmm?
very excited, but very present.
Mm.
Open.
And you'll find the right questions to ask.
Mhm.
Is this mine to do? What's present for me?
Mhm.
What's my next step? And then really feel it landing in your body. And at the same time, you have that beautiful witness who's seeing everything and bringing clarity to it. Or you jump in at the embodiment part, the experiencing, and then ask the questions. Just play with it.
Mhm. That's it. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Linda. It's a pleasure.
That was well worth the price of admission.
Tanya, hi.
Hello, thank you for spotlighting me. Now I like from my comfortable position on the couch. Now I need to be like proper.
No,
Just be
you
you,
can still
Tanya.
be in, yeah,
Just be
absolutely.
you.
Be on your couch.
Thank you. Elaine, so I wanted to ask when you said, thought that was really good. I want to really understand it. It was something about the discomfort that can that we try to avoid.
Yeah.
So I do that, and I wanted to ask you how, yeah, if you can explain it a little bit more to me, what you meant with the discomfort and how you use it for clarity, because what I'm struggling with when the fear comes in, then my clarity is gone. And I need it to be away before I can be with myself and see clearly again.
So discomfort is really resistance to feeling something, I guess. And sometimes we just need to wait until that moves through. When we're in that place of discomfort, it can give us lots of information about what it is we're fearful of, what it is we have resistance to, where we're stuck. And it's all information that we can put into the field, our own field, to start to create some movement to allow the discomfort and the emotions and the fear to keep moving. Because we often hold on to the emotion, we hold on to the discomfort, we hold on to the fear or resistance. And that's where we get stuck, we get frozen, and our energy field becomes frozen. So the more that we can just even clarify what it's a little bit about why it's happening, what it is you're feeling uncomfortable about, then we can start to create some movement in the energy field to allow more freedom, to allow it to pass quicker. It doesn't mean that necessarily that it's going to just pop away like that. It might, but often it's more the creating a flow of energy to help things to keep moving on through. And then when the wave has passed, then you've got information. Oh, that's what that was all about. And maybe next time it won't feel quite so intense. And then the next time a little bit less intense, and so on.
Sounds really good. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes. Makes me book a session with you.
You'd be most welcome.
Thank you.
Sue. I think Sue's got
As you
her
were
hand.
talking to the last lady, I felt this amazing movement in my body, and the tears began to come into my eyes. And I'm just going to say something, and maybe you can take a question from it, because I don't know how to pose the question, because I don't know what the inquiry is, but I know what I'm feeling and sensing, because my body's usually the first thing to feel rather than my head, and my head isn't involved right now. Okay. This is powerful. I spent 44 years fearing that my husband was going to die. And as I held him when he did, I found a new level of strength and love and compassion that I didn't know I had. How can I take the learning from that into trusting the universe to create what I said earlier this evening? That's the best way I can do in forming a question. I feel this, it's like I feel when I hear your voice, I've got ancestors from the place that you come from, and hearing your voice, I'm hearing my ancestral voices.
Mm.
I'm literally hearing ancestral voices. And what I'm sensing, because I don't hear literally, but I hear in energy, is you have that knowing. You can do this work. And I'm not trying to deride from what you're saying. Why are you keeping yourself small? Why don't you stand in the lineage you come from? Why don't you just do what you want to do instead of playing small and being with people who don't have the same awareness and then they ostracize you because they're jealous? The end. But that's the gist of it.
Okay. So from what you've been sharing since we started, and we were in a breakout room together, it feels for me that your body is your powerhouse, your superpower, and that's where all of that learning and everything that you've experienced in these last years this is where it's all going to land, so that you can share it out into the world, to radiate it out into the world. And listening to, I mean, your ancestors will have some of the steps for you, they'll be able to support you and help you. However, what I was hearing, and that may not be the case, I was hearing a lot of harshness and self-judgment. And whether that comes from the ancestors or from yourself, I don't know. You will know that.
It comes from my inner critic,
Yeah.
who has swallowed the criticism of my maternal mother. Oh, she'd have to be a maternal mother, wouldn't she? Couldn't be anything else. But I've swallowed that inner critic, and
Yeah.
I turn the knife most harshly against myself.
Yeah. I'm wondering then if perhaps that's where your focus could shift slightly into bringing much more compassion in for yourself.
I give it to others,
I'll-
but I don't give it to myself.
yeah. Yeah. Feels like that needs to change.
Mhm.
Yeah. Such a beautiful heart radiating there, that just radiate it backwards to who you are, to you. And allow your ancestors, your lineage to support that. Your mother, your maternal mother, is in a very different place now, and I'm sure can support you in a very different way. But it feels like the next step for you is to really start bringing that love back to you. In order for you to radiate it out into the world, there has to be a flow of giving and receiving. You're giving and giving and giving. There has to be something coming back to keep that flow that I was talking about with Tanya. Is there something in this moment that you need? I'm just wondering if there's just
I think that what I've said isn't new to me, and I have times when I completely release it. But as you were talking to Tanya, I wasn't thinking about it remotely at all until you were talking to Tanya, and the way that you were talking to Tanya just blew like my nervous system apart. It's like you were talking to Tanya, and it was palpable. It was palpable for Linda, but something happened when you were talking to Tanya. I felt it when Linda dropped into embodiment, and I felt it when you were talking to Lydia and to Tanya, and I thought there's something in that that is unnameable that I want you to witness. It's as simple as that.
So what I'm witnessing is you stepping into yourself. And we are in a field here. We're all in a field together. So whatever is true for Linda or for Tanya will be true for you or for Magdalena or for Suzanne or any of us. Because we're in this field that we've been creating since Suzanne let us in this morning. And it's a very loving, beautiful field. It's a safe space.
Thank you.
Wow.
Does this feel complete for you, Sue?
As complete as I can do right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow.
Suzanne, how am I doing for timing?
You have about 20 minutes. And Elaine, last time you spoke for me, you didn't even mention what you have available for people. And I would love it if you would actually mention that before maybe we move to our last question and I can drop a link.
So, what the link that Suzanne's going to drop is for a workshop, like a 90-minute workshop online that I am doing around clear boundaries and open heart, really to speak about boundaries in a very different way, in that for me, they can grow organically. They come out of our alignment. They come out of our centeredness, rather than putting up blocks and things in front of us or protection, or not that there are times in life that we might need something to protect or to support our energy field, but we don't want to go into defense with energy boundaries. So the 90 minutes are really about exploring what boundaries are and what our defenses are. And that is followed by like a 45-minute energy healing after to help you integrate the session on boundaries. So yeah, that's what I'm offering today.
I love it. That link is in there. Can you guys, is it working? Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks, Angelica, too. I have a question for you, Elaine. Am I allowed?
You are allowed, of course.
I hear Sue speaking and asking her question, and that lack of self-love, whatever that is going within. And can you talk a little bit about, because you just mentioned boundaries, and at which point or how can we set up a boundary, or is that what we need to do when we allow ourselves to treat ourselves worse than we treat other people, and we would like to say enough?
Mhm.
Like, and is that something that, I mean, for me, it was a decision, but I know I'm a manifesting generator and it frustrates Angelica to hell. But I'm just like, I'm not doing that anymore. And I just don't. And I have my slips, but they're rare. How there's a question in me somewhere. I don't know if you feel it. Um, how can we help?
How can we help to help allow ourselves to bring in that self-love
Yeah.
without creating barriers or defenses, I think is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
I think in my view, it's about the cultivation of knowing who we are and really knowing how powerful we are as beings. And not just from that place of, I mean, it's a very common phrase now, we're a human being having a spiritual experience, but we are, again, in my view, we are divine creators.
Mhm.
And the more that we allow that soul essence, that connection to the divine, to enter into our field, into our bodies, the more we are able to drop the constructions that we've made in this 3D world, the conditioning, the programming. These are like they almost become like brittle pieces the more we open to this bigger self, this bigger being of who we are, and really trusting that place.
Mhm.
Those kind of blocks that get in the way of loving oneself or the other start to fall away. And then we meet discomfort and confusion and all kinds of things. And that's part of the awakening process, the journey of awakening, in my view, that little by little we waken up and we look at ourselves differently. We see a different perspective of who we are, and we go through a period of confusion or self-doubt, and then we let go of that and we move to the next piece and the next piece to kind of unpack. Always on that journey of awakening, we're always moving to a different place to unpack what's there.
Mhm.
And we gain something of ourselves along the way. We bring in more of that soul essence and more of that soul essence so that we can actually move through things much more quickly. They just kind of speed through eventually.
Mhm.
And everybody, like you know, as you say, you're a manifesting generator, that can happen very quickly. But for the majority of us, it doesn't quite happen that quickly. And it can happen like that in an instant.
Yeah.
It's being open to this journey that we're on is so amazing that, yeah, it takes us by surprise sometimes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Elaine. I don't want to be the last one to ask a question, so I know that there's one out there sitting. Who is it gonna be? We are not gonna leave this wonderful woman without asking that question. So let's go. Okay.
I'm
Val.
really sorry. I
I
can't
do.
find my hand up.
Okay, sorry, Val. I can hear you. Go ahead, Val, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Alison had a question. Alison, you go.
Are you
I can
sure?
go after you. Yeah, I'll go after you.
Okay, because I have to leave at 1 o'clock anyway. But
Okay.
I just want to note this, and I feel this really strongly. I feel this real strong sensitivity that we all have, and you threw up about boundaries. I too just had an experience with my mother. She's a very guilt-driven type person, and she's turning 95 this next month and hasn't been well, um, and as a part of all this, I don't know if it's totally a question, but it's an emotion I'm experiencing. And I feel myself pulling away from her in a very strong manner to where I love my mother dearly, but I have no energy for her. I'm drained and I'm trying to reclaim that energy and be safe within self, so that I take care of myself first. Um, she got really ill in December and has been kind of on a roller coaster ride. And as a result, my emotions have been on a roller coaster ride, and I'm trying to get rebalanced and to come to a softer landing of places for myself. And so, I've been trying to do some more meditation, and looking for healthier new prayers. I mean, I'm really into the Serenity Prayer and St. Francis of Assisi's prayer, and you know, looking for love coming in and release of that. But if you have any other suggestions, I'm open to them. Thank you.
I imagine it's quite painful at the moment to feel the pulling away from your mother. Yeah. And I'm kind of just wondering in this moment if we just sit together, all of us, and just sit with you, with that feeling, that emotion, that pain, without trying to fix or change. And maybe even just giving it a little bit of space. So if you just want to close your eyes and just allow yourself to receive, and whoever feels called to join in, please do it. And if you're not called, please, it's all good, whichever. Just to allow you to come back to your heart. Just gently bringing in your mother's energy. What's her name?
Shirley.
Okay. Just take a couple of deep breaths, Alison.
Bad allergies.
Yeah. I think this is a very important time for all of us, especially going through big situations in life, to take care of our nervous system. How is that landing in you, Alison?
It is. I'm feeling that in my heart. Thank you. I feel the warmth, and I'm feeling more settled moment. I know I have no control here, with other people, places, or things, and I just have to remember that I have to take care of my spirit, my heart first, and my body, and to remind myself of that. Sometimes I just forget. I go react. I'm trying not to react, and
Yeah.
yeah, I have a torn rotator cuff, so I'm already in physical pain. You can kind of see one of my patches up here. Looking at surgery, and it's kind of like thrown my whole balance off because
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my spirit comfortable, but the body is saying, "Oh no, you're going to feel this for a while." Trying to get off that seesaw. But thank you, all of you.
You're most welcome.
And I'm going to have to say bye for now, and I'll try to come back later. But Thank you very much. Everything,
Allison.
Susan, all you ladies. Nice, wonderful meeting you. If I can't meet you today, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Thanks,
Right.
Allison. See you.
Bye.
Aye.
Now, Val, are you able to? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Do you not have a camera today?
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to work it out. I am the most untechnical person in the world. It's not working. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Uh, I
My
will
little
imagine you as the most beautiful stick woman I've ever seen. You go
I
ahead.
do. My little lights on my camera on like my on my computer and everything. Okay, we're just gonna go with this.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
I can
What?
affirm that Val is a very beautiful woman.
What a magical session, Linda. I feel like it was so meant that you were to go first because it was exactly what I was envisaging. I'm starting a new role in a couple of weeks, and it felt it felt weird. I couldn't put it into words, but when you spoke about your next version of you being outside, I was like, yes, that's it. And so, like Tanya, I will be booking some sessions in very soon. But my question was around when you were talking about witnessing and observing without judgment. Um, what I wanted to ask a little bit was around you then talked about like discomfort being information, and I thought, how do I tell the difference between discomfort that's growth and something that's just not right for me?
That's a great question. It's a very intriguing question because often people, when they have to make a choice or a decision about something and they feel uncomfortable, they immediately assume that it's the wrong choice. It's
Yeah.
something that must be bad for them. But often it's just growth. And often the most healing thing we can do is go down the path that is the most uncomfortable. It leads us somewhere, perhaps somewhere different from another path, and it doesn't make it better or worse. It's just different, and it perhaps gives you a different perspective. It perhaps allows you to pick up pieces of yourself that you've perhaps lost along the way in this incarnation or another incarnation. That brings you something that you may never be able to put into words. But it can bring you a very different perspective to some other pathway that feels beautiful and love and light, and that might be the right path for you.
Yeah.
So it's really, if something is going to damage you, or you go into the discomfort and it's never ending, then probably that's a sign to change paths. But if you allow yourself to move through the discomfort and find what is at the other end, it can open up a whole new world, a whole new perspective.
Oh, yeah. Sitting in the discomfort.
It's not easy sometimes. It's really blooming uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Really uncomfortable sometimes, and that's also a mirror of what's happening in the world. There is so much discomfort happening in the world, and how can we be with that? So yeah, it's a journey.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, I think you're in double. You seem to be in
Yeah.
twice, Val. Okay.
Okay. We'll see how that works. Oh, there. Now she's in single. Ah, there's Val.
I exist. I'm here. It's finally
There
letting
you
me
are.
in.
the technology gremlins.
Gosh, yeah, that's it. I feel like I need to invite it in and be friends with it a little bit more, right?
Mm,
I
yeah.
love that.
It's not always pleasant, and it can just lead us to openings.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That was lovely.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Val. Thank you. Thank you for letting us see your face. Sorry about the confusion with the links.
This is hurts me.
There you are. And your accent, you and Elaine. And Elaine, thank you so much for what you have brought for us today. And honestly, take advantage of Elaine's link that's there, everyone. I guess for Val, it probably doesn't exist anymore because she just popped in and popped out. So I'll pop it there again. But energy, thank you, Elaine, for explaining it so beautifully, is important. It's a crux. It is what we are as beings, and it matters. And so when you're feeling like you're out of it, you don't have enough of it, you need to settle it. You need to pay attention to your energy, just like we pay attention to how much water we drink, to if we've exercised that day, your energy needs care. I guess that's a silly thing to say, but
Well, if we have a really strong energy field and we really take care of ourselves, it it's our support for our life. It's our support for the creation of our life.
Yes. And any last words you want to leave us with, Elaine, before any last word of wisdom? You just said it, it's the support of our life. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love it.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you for inviting me. It's been, as always, a delight. Really
Ditto.
gorgeous to be here with you all.
Ditto. And I do hope to see you in the days to come. I know it's getting late where you are, so no pressure. I do also want to, it's really hard not to jump in, but when Val was asking about, discomfort, is this a wrong choice or is it just growth? And from my point of view, because I'm not the energy expert that Elaine is in helping us with our energies and oh God, that energy clearing you did for me, Elaine. Okay. I literally need you on retainer. I've said that before. It's coming. For me, if I'm looking at something in my vision or something that's come up as a next step that'll lead me towards what I'm looking for, and there's that question, like I'm really uncomfortable about it. Of course, there's, am I just being shy? Am I just holding myself? There's all that. But I often go to Spirit and I ask Spirit to make this more clear for me. Could you please increase my longing? Could you please increase my conscious awareness of what I need to do next if this is it? Or could you please direct me somewhere else? So Spirit for me never says no. It doesn't say don't. That's fear speaking. Spirit will increase our passion and longing for something, or it will redirect us. And so if it's at a crux like that, I will often meditate. For me, meditation happens a lot when I walk in nature. I will be where I need to be and I will ask that question and I will look for those signs, those indications, whether it's over the next few steps, the next few days, the next few however long that you have to know whether this is truly, something that is meant for you or if you're to direct yourself in another way. So that's just a final thought that I had on that. Yeah. Okay. We worked on vision before Elaine spoke, and I promised that we would come back and just calibrate our vision. I don't say just, I'm taking that out. We would calibrate our vision. And if you've done vision with me before, you've heard this before, but it doesn't mean you don't need to hear it again. Every time I write down my vision, I'm like, I caught this here, caught that there. So there's 5 quick things that I want to have you look for as you look through what you wrote for you in your life that you would love. By the way, hearing your breakthroughs and your ahas and your new visions and ugh, you guys are pulling at my heart in the most beautiful way. I love this. This is what this is for. So, number 1, the vision that you wrote down, we started with, I'm so happy and grateful now that. And as we write, what we write benefits us immensely if it's in the present tense. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm living my most glorious life in this location with these people. You name it, present tense. If we've got going to, if we've got will, I will do this. If we've got should, that's not a vision. It is a vision, but it's not. We want to bring it in closer. We want it to be us and who we are. Because what we see in our vision is really, can we picture our life here in this human as an orange? And every section that we live, every segment that we live slightly changes. We're in one segment here, and our vision is over here. It is all the same orange. This is us. And us going from one segment to the other is literally who are we deciding to be and becoming that now. And when we take our vision and we put something like will or going to or should, those are almost like Linda said, where it feels outside of me. I want it to be me. And this is you. You wouldn't have this vision if it wasn't meant for you. Spirit is talking to you. So having it in present tense keeps it close, and it acknowledges that it's part of who I am and I'm moving into being that fully. Okay. Which may be something that you haven't really thought about before. All right. But it is me now. It's you now. It's us now. So that present tense. I guess the second thing that I would talk about, so you're scanning through, you're looking for that and you're changing that. The second thing I would talk about is that your vision is positive. By that I mean, if you're currently suffering from a sore elbow, I don't know, your vision doesn't say, oh, I don't even feel my elbow anymore. Because in reality, when I wake up and everything's pain-free, I'm not spending my days thinking, oh, my back doesn't hurt. Oh, my left foot doesn't hurt. I'm just like, whoa, I feel vibrant and fantastic. Now, if you've had a miraculous healing and yesterday you were in a coma and today you're not, well, heck, you're going to have that day. But in reality, we are beautifully, gratefully positive. So, I'm living my most vibrant life. My body is strong and healthy. Money flows to me and through me in the most incredible ways. You name something positive like that, not, I'm not living month to month anymore. Or so take a look at what you've written and see if you need to shift any of that. And by the way, just come off mute if you have a question about how to shift something that you have. Okay? Because I'm literally here for you. So it being positive and it being present tense. And now I'm going to get into the one that's a little quirky. I want you to be specific, but not narrow. That sounds so crazy. But I always give the example of a house, and I hope this works, but it can work with a loved one. It can work with your health. It can work with anything. If you're looking to live somewhere beautifully new, and you've decided that, you were just at the neighbors yesterday and their house is amazing, I want that house right there. That's you being narrow. Versus, I would love a home like da 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 da, and start explaining it. Because if I'm waiting for the universe to give me the neighbor's home, I say this story all the time, but they might have just moved in and have dreams of playing with their grandchildren in the backyard, and that's a hot minute from now. And the universe doesn't really want to keep you waiting, but if you're going to hold to that, you're going to wait. Versus if you say, I would love a home like that allows me to live in this way, that allows room and space for this, that makes me feel a certain way. That is specific, but not narrowing it down. It's the same with people. It's the same with jobs. It's the same with how money comes to you. If you sit and really envision that your money comes to you only through the specific service or business or job that you have, you'll always get what you are asking for. But what if the universe has 10 million waiting for you right over here? And it's from a long lost aunt who's passed away, but you didn't ask for it. You said it has to come this way. Do you really want to close that down? So we want to be, I would love money to flow through me, to me, and through me. Every time I spend money, it comes back to me multiplied. I receive surprising amounts of money from areas I didn't expect. These are the types of things that we would love to have in our vision. And this could be potentially why specific things in your vision hasn't worked for you before. Because if we've narrowed the neck on that funnel, bringing everything we want to us, if we've narrowed it, it gets harder for it to arrive. Okay, and that's not what we're trying to do. The fourth thing is your vision should be emotionally engaging, positive, uplifting, hopeful. If you're feeling constriction in any way, like this would happen for Angelica, because she's that special kind of human. She's a projector, so she feels other people's vision and she's smiling because she knows it's real. But she could take it in, and it's like maybe it's Linda Allen's vision. They don't even live in the same country. Sweden, Florida, different. But because she's in this energetic space, she could take that in. And then tomorrow she'd go, whoa, I don't even want that. Where did that come from? Recognize as you look back over your vision that it's actually yours. Okay. I know, and I've said this before, but a lot of us get a college degree because our parents wanted us to. Did we? Was that our vision? For me, it was. My parents thought I was crazy, but that's not the same for everyone else. So really make sure that you're emotionally engaging with this vision. And if you're not, reflecting, backing up, and asking, what would I love? What would I love? And going that way. And then the last thing is a little bit, number 5 is like a little bit what Sue was talking about. Your vision requires space for a higher power to be at work. Okay, you have to be open to how it's going to happen, need to leave room for that higher power, because in reality, you could look at a vision as goals if you want, but there's 3 types of goals. An A-type goal is, I did this last week and I can do it again this week. I'm just going to do the same thing. I made $200 last week by doing this. I'm just going to do it again. That's an A-type goal. A B-type goal is, I haven't done it before, but I have a really good idea how. I made $5,000 a month last month. I want to make 10. So if I just double what I did, or, the steps, that's a B-type goal. A C-type goal is, I have no clue how this is going to happen. That's a vision. That is a vision. Now, your vision might have you setting goals to take steps towards it, but you're not actually sure how it's going to happen, but you become open to how, and you're open to opportunity and a little bit of mystery, right, Sue Bailey? A little bit of mystery, okay? Having that space. So you've got 5 things in there. If you can look at this vision and go, yeah, I can have this puppy knocked off by, say, 8 months from now, rewrite it. This isn't a vision. Okay, it's a goal. So I'm just letting you know that a vision, something that's supposed to pull you, has that mystery. It has that power that really pulls us through. It's fantastic. Okay. Any questions about that? Sue Bailey.
You said you're a manifesting generator. I'm a hermit opportunist. That's a generator, but not a manifesting one. Is there any way I should be looking at this process differently?
Ooh, that's tomorrow and the next day. So tomorrow we're going to be hearing from Lori and Dana, who are the soul-led masterminds, and they're going to be talking to you about your human design and how to work with it. But Angelica on day 3 is going to be telling us how to live beyond. So you're in the right place. But Angelica, as you're here now, is there anything that you think that you should answer here for Sue? Because this question, and maybe Sue, you might need to repeat the question for Angelica. I'm not trying to throw her under the bus.
I'm a generator. I'm a 2/4 hermit opportunist. How can you translate what Suzanne said for the last bunch of hours into hermit opportunist language, or a little bit, so I know that I'm doing it the right way for me? Because I've tried to adopt other people's ways and I fall flat on my face.
Well, honestly, most people fall flat on the face when they try to do something someone else is telling you to do. And because we're all wired in a specific way. So are you? So
You, Angelica.
I'm
Let me
Angelica
spotlight
here.
her. Hang on. I'll spotlight her. Sorry. Apologize. My bad.
Here I am.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are all very different, and none of us have the same wiring whatsoever. It's a bit hard to say just by knowing you're a generator and 2-4, because it's a very complex chart. It depends on which centers you have open and which are defined, and how you are connected with those things.
Okay,
So,
well, my spleen, everything happens in my spleen and my left-hand side, or whatever it's called.
okay, so spleen, that means that you should trust your intuition. And so you have the intuition and you will know it, but you also have the sacral authority, meaning you know that your body says yes and when it says no. And as far as I've heard, you are an expert in your body. So you can trust the yes and the no's. The thing is that you need to ask yourself yes and no questions.
I don't do that.
No, you probably use open-ended questions
I
instead of
do.
yes. Yes.
I do.
Yeah, so start reframing them to yes and no's, and you will know.
Bloody hell, girl.
I know. Don't I have great people?
Do you know what? Oh!
So, everyone else, how we doing? we're gonna get to more of this tomorrow. But my suggestion
As
for you
simple
right
as
now
that. It's
is to
simple as
look
that.
at your vision and ask yourself, do I want this? Yes or no? And do I want this next thing? Yes or no? And do I want it this way? And take some time, have some fun with it.
However, that only works for generator types. So
Mhm. Yes, speaking to Sue, not to, yes.
yes.
Thanks, friend, for jumping in.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay. So I'm hoping Sue's feeling some movement there. Okay, good. I see a little dance. This is perfect. Okay.
You have to know, I just have to say this. I was so eager to have Sue come here today. And I kept on, and I
Who's
had an
talking now?
appointment set up to talk to her at 11. And
Oh,
so, right. So I was at like an hour before, or 2 hours before we were supposed to start. And everything that was coming up for me, I was talking about you, Suzanne. I was talking about Angelica. I was telling her all these people that were here. And I can't even tell you, well, you've been seeing me. I've been clapping my hands. I've been raising my hands and getting so excited. Sue, this was so important for you. I'm so glad you're seeing this. This is like the best place for you.
It is the
So
best
it was
place.
everything that we talked about for the whole hour
Mhm.
before
I'm
she got
I'm
on.
glad you guys connected. This is perfect.
I
I'm
only
gonna.
met her last week.
Yes.
You were supposed to. You were supposed to be here today. You were supposed to meet her last week. This is all beautiful. And I'm going to grab this and I'm going to move forward because I do want to give you as much as I can today.
Sorry.
I have no huge hearts, loving it all. Do not hear what I'm not saying. I want to take, Allison had to pop out, but I just want to take that feeling for a moment. And Cyrene, just because I know a little bit about where you are with your parents, that feeling that our energy, we've talked about energy, we've talked about all sorts of things. We know a little bit about the law of attraction. What I'm putting out there will bring more of it to me. We know so many things. And one of the first things that people can leave a session like this with is, I'm unhappy. I shouldn't be unhappy. I'm going to get more to be unhappy about. And and I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It's real because we are always manifesting according to the energy that we're putting out and our default beingness. Who are we being? Do I want to manifest more of who I'm being? Well, look around you. Do you have the results you want? There's the answer to your question. Can we instantly shift our being? Who we are being is a practice, it's a set of beliefs. We're going to go really deep on that tomorrow. But know this, and you already know this, we are human beings. So we are going to have moments of despair and doubt and disappointment. I mean, name the emotion here, right? And this is not a failure in manifestation. This is the human experience. That's why our spirit came here. So there are times when life's going to ask us to deal with what's right in front of us right now. That broken down car, that mom who's ill, that maybe you've hurt yourself. Okay. And in these moments, the work is not think positive or shift faster. Okay. The work is to grieve, to feel, to explore, to release, to recover, and to tend whatever needs tending. So if you've lost someone, if something's ended, if a dream cracked, right, that is not the moment to pull out the vision board and force an upshift. And I'm saying this with a bit of humor. Oh my God, I've lost my husband, and I'm gonna grab. No, we're not gonna grab out the vision board then. Like, I'm sorry, Sue, that you're a widow. Like that's sad. These are grieving times. 5 seconds after it happens is not when we want to upshift. Okay? I just really want you to hear that. The deep truth is that we are a loving being who is having a moment of grief, a moment of loss, a moment of sadness. But we are a loving being. And even while you're feeling all that, I want you to be aware that you're not despair, and you're not doubt, and you're not confusion. We're going to work on coming from the vision so that we are not those things. Are there people right now living anxiety? Yes. Are they getting more to be anxious about? Yes, because that is who they're being. So we're going to talk about that. But these moments that come, okay, you're the spirit, you're noticing the experience that you're having. Notice it. Witness it, as Elaine so beautifully said, without judgment. Okay, we're going to go deeper into this on day 3. So you're the spirit, noticing the experience you're having, and there will come a moment during that experience, whether it's an hour later, a day later, a week later, a month later, a year later, I don't know. But something inside of us shifts, and your body knows, and your mind knows. And it sounds something like, I think I need something a little bit more than this. If it's a long term of grief, it might just be, I think I need a shower. It might be, I think I need a friend to talk to. Whatever that is, whatever you're going through. This isn't in a resistive way. It's not a bypass. We are to feel our emotions fully, but in readiness, right? Watching for that moment. And then in that moment, the tools will come back online. The things that you know. And we're not trying to create robots, right? That's not what we're doing. We're creating humans with powerful visions who are allowed to have a moment of weakness, a moment of sadness, a moment of grief. And those do not cancel manifestation, nor do they erase your vision, nor do they mean they're off track. They mean you're a spirit who's having a human experience, period. That's what we're here for. So when you reach that point of having felt what you need to, and you sense that, okay, it's time to move forward in some way, the question really becomes, okay, I've used my tools, I've honored my humanness. Now what do I do next? And that's where that longing and discontent comes from. That's where you can reconnect with a vision, if not the same vision. It depends on how long and what you've been through and how it shifted things for you. Right? All of that longing and discontent is information. Like Elaine said, when you're in discomfort, that's information. And they're the signal that something in you is ready to expand. And that's exactly where we're going to head next. I really want to talk about the power of coming from the vision, because, I mean, can I be super honest? Who we are being today is based on what we believed up to now, who's spoken into us up to now, what we believe is true to come forward for us, down to how much money we have in our wallet and bank account, right? I mean, it's all part of it. So I want to talk about coming from the vision, because what we just talked about was our life is like an orange and it's all the sections. and we're just in one section, and what's being held for us is in another that we would really love. By the way, there's lower ones and there's higher ones, right? There's all the different sections within our orange, and we're aiming for one that we have in mind right now. So the one powerful thing that I really, really, really want to talk to you about is coming from the vision. I'm just going to share this so you see what I'm talking about. I know you don't really need to see it, but you kind of do in my mind. Coming from the vision today is how we step into our manifestation power. This is the crux of everything, coming from the vision. Okay, the power move, the one thing that I want you to leave this 3-day workshop with is coming from the vision today, right now, is how we step into our manifestation power. I've said that twice now. I really want you to feel that. In real life, that looks like asking yourself one simple question. What would the version of me for whom it's all already worked out think in this situation, feel in this situation, or do in this situation, and then choosing from there? Now, previously, I'm just going to pause here for a second. Previously, I asked you to look at that area where you rated the sections of your life and rate them 1 to 6. And then I said, what emotions are there for you? What I didn't ask you is this. Could you go to that page where you wrote your vision? And if you wrote them down already, just circle at least 3 emotions. If you didn't write any emotions on your vision, write them now. What does it feel like in your vision? I'm going to give you a second to do that. Reach back. Where's that piece of paper? Did you write down some feelings, or can you write down some feelings? What does it feel like in your vision? And we're getting to know each other here. So if you want to come off mute and share just one of them, you go right ahead. Sue Bailey is already off mute, so she's going to start. What's it feel like in your vision, Sue?
Bloody hell. It feels somewhat known. It feels a big stretch. It feels like it's going to happen. It feels consensual. It feels alive, and it feels possible.
Ooh, I love those last 3. So when we start listening to spirit, by the way, what comes from us, has anyone ever pumped water out of a well? Have you ever, like, okay, an old-fashioned well, when you pump, what's that water look like that first comes out? Okay, no one wants to drink it, but then the clearness comes through, the good stuff. So what Sue just said was the first few were kind of murky, kind of like, oh, it feels kind of possible, like it's going to, and then alive was a word, right? So that first little bit that comes to us is very often that murky. It's us trying to let go of what we believe and trying to let spirit fully speak to us. So alive is there. You gave 2 more really positive ones, Sue. What were they?
Possible.
Mm-hmm. There was one more. I can't remember it right now. Sorry. I grabbed my, that's okay. There's no test.
Possible, alive. Was it emerging?
That's also very good. Yes. Anyone else want to come off mute and share? What does it feel like in your vision?
Exciting
Magdalene's
and
like, no.
empowering.
Oh, Linda, empowering and what?
Exciting.
Exciting. Mm-hmm. Come on, Magdalena. Haven't heard from you all day. What's it feel like in your vision?
Exciting, present, and expected.
Nice. Expectation.
No, expected.
I know.
Yeah.
Expectation. When we manifest, we're manifesting from what we expect, and that is expected is beautiful. It's beautiful. Come on, Jackie. Haven't heard from you all day either. What do you feel in your, oh, come on, girl. I know you can get off mute and share. You can do it. What do you feel in your vision? Is it hopeful? Is it freedom? Is it, what do you feel?
Um, yeah, I felt relaxed, comfortable, and easy.
Nice.
It just felt easy, and life me at the moment isn't. So yeah, I'm definitely visioning, and I felt it. Just felt really chilled and enjoying. Yeah.
Beautiful. Hang on to those. That's what we're looking
Yeah.
for. Anna, did you want to share as well? No? I just see you're off mute, so I'm guessing. Oh, I can't hear you even though you're off mute. That's weird.
Let's try.
There, we got you.
Let's try that. Better? Okay, there
Yeah.
we go. Light, limitless. I feel elevated. I just feel,
Beautiful.
just like my feet aren't touching the ground.
Good. And there is no right or wrong when it comes to a vision, except what I was speaking about before. If you're feeling constriction, if you're feeling not a good way about your vision, then it could be that it's not fully developed or that it's someone else's. And so pull back, reassess, and ask yourself, what would I really love? Can I give you examples of that already? Coming from the vision, thank you for sharing, by the way, ladies. Coming from the vision doesn't mean being reckless. When I say that, I really want to explain what I mean here. It doesn't mean being reckless, and it doesn't mean being irresponsible. We don't spend money we don't have. We don't ignore medical advice. We don't burn relationship bridges. Like, that's just not the thing. Okay. We come from the vision, from that place that feels calm and grounded, right? That sounds like Jackie's right there, peaceful and confident and aligned. And we act from that place. So it looks like paying your bills with gratitude. Remember how I said I'm a huge believer of gratitude? You might have $50 left in your bank account, and the last bill you got in was $49. And if you're logging in going, ugh, there goes the end of the money for the month. Ugh, stop it. Don't do it. That's not what the you in 3 years from now, when everything worked out, would do. Walk around the block, do some breathing, come back, and when you log in going, wow, I'm sure glad that I'm able to just pay all these bills just beautifully. Look at that. That worked out nice. I'm looking for money to come in even more, but I'm really grateful for what I have right now. There is a different energy there. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. It looks like recognizing that you have enough to get through the month and staying open to what's unfolding next. It's like speaking with a difficult family member or a coworker from the version of you who already experiences a beautiful relationship with them. That changes everything, doesn't it? I mean, you got to tell me that every time your phone rings, you're happy when you see the name that's on there? Liar. That is not true. But you know what? Sometimes the phone will ring and I'll go, this is going to be a beautiful call. I have no idea what it is, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'll answer it. That completely shifts how that other person on the other end feels. 100%. And if you don't think so yet, experiment, get back to me. Experiment and get back to me. Because there's an air of respect. Elaine just talked about energy. What energy are you putting out? We can connect like this on Zoom. What do you think we're doing with the phone? Doing the same thing, right? So watch that and come from that beautiful place where everything's already worked out. Go ahead, Magdalena. I know it's going to be good.
Well, I was laughing. Sorry, it's shedding season, and he's just impossible. I was laughing because I constantly get these calls. If you're in, maybe you get them abroad as well, but in the US, it's these people calling and they rotodial you. And the nicest little voices come on, and they always want to give me money. They're calling up to give me a loan, to give me money. So I get very irritated about it. And I'm like, oh, those crapping people again. It's constant. It used to be, the ones where you would just kind of see that it would tell you it was like one of those calls, right? This is, you don't know, the number keeps changing. So as I'm listening to you, I'm sitting there and I'm going, maybe I need to revisit how I think about those calls and go, how nice. people are always wanting to give me money. And instead of shutting it down, I don't have to answer it, but just go, there is a sense in the universe that people are
Yes.
wanting to give me money.
Yes.
Look, there's another one. How nice is that? So instead,
I love what you just did,
things I
Magdalena.
usually say. That's why I was laughing so hard, because it's usually not my response.
But do it. Do
Yeah.
it. Because, by the way, there are people out there with spirit animals, with spirit numbers, with spirit. This could be your sign to you that money's on its way to you. And what you believe to be true will be your truth. And my goodness, if you don't turn around and find a $5 bill in your coat from last winter, or maybe literally you're walking through Costco and someone drops a 20 and oh, they're all gone. The aisle's empty. Well, look at you don't know.
No, I love it.
These
People
things.
want to give me, my husband doesn't get these calls. I do. So I'm like, and I'm always like, why aren't you bothered by, he gets whatever the other thing is. But I was like, oh, because now I know, Suzanne, it's because people want to give me, and I was been given that message and I'm not receiving
Good.
it. Now I am.
Now you are. That's beautiful. I love it, and it's as simple as that, but it's coming from that end and it changes everything. Magdalena, when your money story changes, you're going to call me because it's happening. It really looks like even facing that health challenge while still following medical guidance and choosing to orient from healing and strength and improvement, right? Like, how many of us have gone to a medical procedure with a weight in our gut and sure that something's wrong? Anybody? Like, okay. And I've changed that to, I can't wait to get there to hear just how much stronger I'm getting. Oh, I love it when they give me results that just prove to me that I'm healthy. That is a completely different energy. And does it ever change how the procedure goes, how the people speak to you? Like, everyone's kind when I go into but they even say, oh, you're such a wonderful person. And I'm like, I love this. This is great. Which then, all of it is me coming from the end. So what changes when you're acting from the vision? So look back to one of the areas right now that you assessed that was rather low. Was it love and relationships? Was it money? Was it just look back to one of your areas? We're going to do a little bit of kind of practice to come from the vision like Magdalena just did. Okay. We're gonna do a wild tic-tac-toe board, and I know you think I'm crazy, but it's okay. I'm good with being called crazy. It happened to me for years. I'm gonna be making this tic-tac-toe board while we speak, and we're gonna see who can fill the most boxes. I know you're like, Suzanne, what? And I'm like, oh, I got you. I want you to look down in your vision for something that you would love to have that came to you in your vision. Can we look at the health area? And someone come off mute and just tell me, I'm just filling 9 boxes with your ideas. I'm just going to do that slowly while you talk. What's something in the health area that came to you? And don't worry, I'll give you directions on what you're doing with this in a minute. You're not supposed to know anything. You're just giving me something you would love in your health area. Who's got one?
Perfect weight
Perfect
and
weight.
total fitness.
Ooh. Um, And I love that you said perfect weight because we can all adjust that for what that means to us and our body type, and that's nice. I like it. Okay, who's got one more health one? Come on.
Total fitness.
I put them together. I put perfect weight and fitness. Does anyone want mental strength, emotional stability? Who's got
Energy.
something out there? Okay, Anna, go ahead. Give me one.
Energy or vitality.
I know you can't see what's happening right now, but in a moment you will, and you'll go, oh, that's what she was doing. Okay. Who's got one in the money area? Ooh, Magdalena, you should give us one. What would you love? How about Sue? Go ahead. Who's got one?
Money is like a magnet to me now that I say yes.
Can I translate that into that money comes to me easily?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And anyone else with money or even time, something like that?
Time is expansive.
Time is expansive. It's so funny that you say that. My husband retired in December and we are living so fully. It feels like we've lived almost a full year and it's April. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what life is like. Time is, yes, okay, love it. How about one that's in love, relationships, or does anyone have like vocation, creativity, travel? Give me anything that's out there. What have you got? Oh, y'all got to give me one. Elaine, you have to give me one. Angelica, you have to give me one. Cyrene, you have to give me one.
Oh, interesting. So hard to say them.
Okay, so Linda, in your vision, you had a
Thousands of books sold.
Oh, okay. So, successful author?
Yeah, that'd be good. Successful
Okay,
author.
thank you. What about Elaine?
The unknown is surprising. It's
Everything you see is
like
beautiful.
it
Okay, I
just
need,
feels like it's full of these, in my vision, it was something so totally unexpected that it, like, wow, that's a big surprise.
yeah, I like that. So surprising in a good way, so we can all remember
Mhm.
that. Okay, some of us don't love surprises. Cyrene, Jackie, give me one.
Haven't got one.
That's fun. Have
I,
fun
life is
with
fun.
others. Life
And
is fun.
Jackie, did
Yeah.
you say that you had one or you didn't have one, or what did you
No,
say?
no,
Okay.
didn't.
Didn't.
Okay. I'll put life is fun. Do you want that, you guys? Is that because several of you had playfulness and fun? And Jackie, I completely get it if you're not wanting to share, but let's go back to the financials or relationship. Let's do a relationship one, by the way. We haven't done one yet. Um, my relationships are loving, or does anyone have anything like that that is in your vision that you want to
Um,
talk about?
love blessed me for 44 years and it's on a return.
Ah,
Mm.
let's put love blesses me. I love that. See, you guys are so good at this. You don't even know what you're doing, but you're good.
I had
Finding my perfect dance partner.
I like that.
I don't know if you still need words. I had one that of the whole vision that hit me. It was just one word that summed it up, and it was harmony. So harmony across all of them. But I know you were looking for distinct pockets, but harmony was a word that came out.
I really like that one too. Yep. I don't need another one. I'm full, but I love that. So if it strikes someone who wants to speak to it when it comes time, we'll do that. Okay, let me just you're gonna go, what the hell is this woman doing? Trust me.
I
Um,
have love traveling while touching lives.
okay. So do you hear how now you're all warming up? Or I like this. I'm full now. Now that you're all warming up, now you're like, okay, I love the travel thing. I love it all. Where did oh, there it went. Okay, you're stuck with this. Okay. See what I just did there? So you're going to look up here at these wonderful tic-tac-toe boxes. Okay. I'm going to ask you, I know that this is crazy, but I'm going to put you again with a partner in a breakout room. I'm going to take a picture of the screen and it's going to be in there with you. And I want you to do what we just did with Magdalena. Now, what did we just do with Magdalena? Do you remember? We took those phone calls that she keeps getting, and what did we decide that they meant? She gets those people trying to give her loans and give her money. And we decided, she says, you know what? This is just a sign that the universe is bringing money to me. That's it. That's all it is. Okay. It's a sign that the universe is bringing money for me, to me.
They are throwing it at me.
They're trying to give it to you. They're throwing it, and you're like, I'm going to use this as a sign from now on. What I would like you to do, which is going to sound absolutely, well, I guess crazy, but I do love crazy. For some reason, my screenshot just went away. Hang tough. No. Oh, now I lost all y'all. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, it's not working. Escape. I'm doing it one more time. I'm just going to snip one more time. You're watching me do this. There it is. I thought I saved this. Yes. Okay. I want you to go into that breakout room with one other person. That's it. Thank you, Magdalena Raj. You've just made my life so much easier. And I want you to come up with a sample of a way to come from the vision. Okay. So I'm going to pretend that the one that Cyrene and Magdalena just spoke are on there. So thank you for giving me the extras. Magdalena, can you repeat what yours was? It was the one full
Harmony.
Harmony. Okay. So coming from that, you know what? I could say, when I'm headed into a gathering with a bunch of people, maybe it's a family dinner, I'm going to remind myself that I see harmony everywhere I go and with everyone I speak to. That's it. That's me going into a situation coming from the vision with that idea. The one that Cyrene gave us, that travel is everywhere. Maybe I'm going into that same situation. Okay, you can name your situation while you're in there. Name stuff you're going through right now. Okay, I'm going to a family dinner and there's a bunch of people. Oh my God, when we have to meet with my husband's family, shut the front door. I need to do the work. Okay, because they're interesting people. So, if I'm doing travel, I'm like, oh, you know what? I love to travel and I love to travel places with other people, right, Angelica? And so, you know what? I bet you that something about travel is going to come up in this next encounter. I'm looking forward to it. It doesn't change that I'm going into the awkward family dinner with people that are a little funky. All it changes is me, and I'm coming from the vision. When I walk in there, something beautiful will come to me, will happen, will be conversed about. I'll be able to share, you name it, that will fill me about that vision. So I'm going to say the directions really, really clearly. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. You're going to go into that room and you're going to try and claim a square by speaking from that vision. Now, I know it's a picture. You can't actually play the tic-tac-toe, but y'all can figure it out, okay? As to who can get 3 in a row or whatever from coming from the vision. Now, you guys can figure out how to take turns. I know that this is weird, but until you do this for someone else's, it doesn't get easy for you. I want it to be easy for you. So we're going to do this with other people's vision. How are we doing? Are we okay? Do you need another sample? So you're going to give a situation and you're going to tell how you're going to come from the vision if this was your vision. Okay. I've got perfect weight and fitness. I'm going into that family dinner. You can figure out what you're going to say for that. I'm going to come from that, not, oh my gosh, I can't eat any of Marge's cooking. You're going to figure out something to say. Okay. Go ahead. I know you have questions. No? Okay. Okay. Here we go. And here we go. Do you have that there for you, Anna? Oh, you're frozen. Here we come. Here we come. Was that interesting, Cyrene?
It was interesting, but I don't know if we answered the what we were meant to do. But hey, it was good to say it out loud.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yes.
That was
That
impactful.
was. I think it's interesting to, especially fun. I like that you said that, Linda, that it was fun because we're actually looking at someone else's vision. So to figure, like when Magdalena talked about those calls, in my head, I'm thinking, girl, the universe is trying to give you money. And what did she say? The universe is giving you money, right? But it's not always that easy. Are there any that you want to share that were funny or that you had a hard time doing it with? Cyrene.
I just want to make a comment. When we went out for dinner with Magdalena, by the way, at the retreat, we paid for her dinner, and she's like, "No, you're like backing off. Like I mean, I want to use it as a write-off." And it wasn't my energy. She made me feel that she didn't completely received it the way she should have fully.
That she could have fully. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. There's no shoulds. I mean, my
Yeah.
goodness, we do that to ourselves. But
Yeah.
Magdalena, the
It was
universe is
beautiful,
giving you money.
Cyrene. It was a beautiful, lovely gesture and a lovely gift. And I did appreciate it. It was lovely.
And going back and re-feeling what you would rather feel around, and I believe that's very powerful. If we've made, a mistake in the fact that maybe I could have felt a little differently about that, let's go back and go, you know what? Even in our minds, I'm really grateful for that. That was wonderful. Rethink that. Time is expansive. How did anyone talk about that one? I put the hard one in the middle. What'd you think?
Oh, I did one.
Okay, Linda, what'd you say?
I already launched my book, and I've been feeling this pressure, like, I didn't sell enough books, right? I have all the time in the world. My book's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Nice. I like that. That works. I have all the time in the world. I have the same amount of time as everyone else has. And my
Yeah.
days are going to be beautifully full. Yeah, with book sales or whatever. Sue Bailey.
I found that exercise inspiring and easy. It helped me see my vision in reality.
Good. Good.
And at first, I hadn't a clue what was happening, and I thought, well, this phrase has got to do with anything. And then I thought, hang on a minute, there'll be a reason. So I sat quietly, and then when I spoke, either at the beginning, I either took something from the box and then attributed it to my vision, or I took something from my vision and then attributed a thing. It just made my vision come more alive.
That's what I was hoping for. I truly, you've given me goosebumps because this activity, like I said, you guys are going to think I'm crazy. I've given you a tic-tac-toe board. What the heck? But in reality, we attach the results in our vision to our beliefs, to our value, to so many things, to our past histories, to you name it, that we don't actually see that we could have fun with it. That
But the
we
thing,
could
the
go ahead.
beautiful thing is that sorry to interrupt, but the beautiful thing is that you have to be in the present moment and you have to look at the words that you gave us and then look back at something that you wrote earlier and make like a new sentence, and therefore you can't bring history into it because history isn't in the page that you wrote or on the board.
Exactly. And whatever way you manage to distance yourself from those beliefs that have held you back, even if it's through doing what we just did with tic-tac-toe, you can look at it that way because clarity is available for all of us that wait a second, I can come from the vision. What did I talk about today? Coming from the vision. What does that look like in this situation if this is true for me in my vision? And doing that. And yes, it's a little strange sometimes to have true story coming home from the retreat. I got pulled over for driving a little fast. I never speed ever. And I was driving and I'm like, I got pulled over and there's all these people driving like buffoons ahead of me. And I had decided to stay out of that mess. And I'm like, oh, it's interesting. I'm being pulled over. And as I pull over, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if this was just a warning? The guy walks up to me. Ma'am, I said, look, here's my license, my registration. I'm sorry. It was a good song. Like, I'm so sorry. And he starts to laugh. And he said, you know what the speed limit in it is? And I said, my car tells me it's 100 kilometers an hour. He goes, what speed were you doing? I said, I can't honestly tell you. I was singing. But I wasn't being disrespectful. I was answering him. I was meeting eye contact. I was doing the things. But in my head, I had gone, wouldn't it be fun if this was a warning? He goes, ma'am, when was the last time you had an infraction? Like I said, 20, 25 years maybe? And he goes, because of that, I'll make this a warning. And I'm and I'm like, but what happened there? I decided who I would be going into it. I would be this, okay, but this is everything. So while he's back there writing down my warning, printing it out, I'm going, I am the happiest pulled over person ever. I also decided that maybe he needed to speak to someone nice that day. That's why he pulled me over. I don't know what universe is playing at, but I do know that I could have sat there and go, oh my God, I've got a ticket. You know, oh my God, my kids are going to think I'm a maniac. Like all the things, but I didn't.
Suzanne, you made his day. It was funny. What a great story. He must have laughed. Singing? Are you kidding me?
And he said, you're rushing to Kamloops? Kamloops? It's not even nice there. And I'm like, well, my husband and family, they're fine, but ma'am, it's Kamloops. Like he started making jokes with me. So, and all I'm saying is that this is our choice. And when we can come from the vision, what we can create is so fun and so light and so easy. And I wanted to leave you with that moment today. Just, I didn't know I was going to tell that story, by the way. We can remove that interference. We can remove the discomfort. And I want to respect your time and let you know that, yes, I know it's time to go. I have, however, just dropped a small little 3-question, a link to a survey in there, not just who invited you, and do you have anything else you want me to talk about or deal with in the next 2 days? Because I don't want to leave that out. So if you go back to that dashboard, you'll now see that there's a survey on it. And if you have 3 minutes, it's literally what it would take. Who invited you? And if you want to enter anything else, please do. And I will see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. my time, evening, night, whatever that is for you. Looking forward to it. And thanks for today, everyone. That was awesome. Thank you.